Hi pet lovers, thank you for joining Gina's Grooming channel. Today we are going to be teaching you how to grind dog nails or dog claws. We're going to be using a model that has black nails as well so that you can kind of see how you need to grind black nails. And we've also included this model who's a little squirmy. So if you guys are trying to do nails at home and you have a dog that's a little squirmy, we're going to show you how to handle that as well. So what is dog nail grinding? Basically, instead of cutting or in addition to cutting the nails, we use a rotating sanding tool, and I'll go through the options that you have available to you to go ahead and file that nail, make it a little softer, rounder, and also get closer to that quick or the vein. So let's go through some common questions that I get about dog nail grinding. We're going to go into some safety considerations, and then I'm going to show you a demonstration, and we're going to get close up and show you how to grind black dog nails. So common question number one, do dogs typically do better with grinding versus nail clipping? That all depends, because I have dogs that completely don't mind me doing any clipping, but as soon as I turn on my rotating sanding tool, they can get a little anxious. I also have the opposite, where some dogs, as soon as they hear the nail being clipped, they can get a little panicked. So for those dogs, they like the grinder more. So it really depends on your pup. Definitely a trial and error. But what I do and most professional groomers do is we do a combination of clipping and filing. Second common question, is grinding enough? So if you have long nails, can you just use the grinder and skip the whole nail clipping step? So the answer to that really is how long of the nails you are working with. So you have to assess how long those nails are. And if you see that they're really, really long, it's gonna save a lot of time and also a lot of annoyance to the dog to go ahead, clip off that little tip, clip off that edge, and then finish filing. So can filing be enough? If you have short nails, nails that are pretty close to that quick, to that vein, and you just wanna smooth them out, sure. But if you have very, very long claws, it definitely helps to cut the nail and then to file after that instead of sitting with a file for a very long time. Now, this is a rotating sanding tool, so it also is building friction, and I'm also gonna talk about some safety concerns. So you wanna use this as little as you need to get those nails filed and nice and smooth, but don't sit there. You don't wanna be sitting there for a long, long time just filing each nail down. Third common question is, can you quick a dog with grinding? Now, quicking means cutting too short and getting that vein that's in the nail. He's not very happy about hearing about that at all. The answer is absolutely. You can grind down nails all the way to the quick and beyond. So be careful of that. Make sure you know the anatomy of a nail, the anatomy of a claw, and take precautions to make sure that you don't file too far back. Let's jump into safety with nail grinding. There are some safety concerns. Just like in nail clipping, we have to make sure that we protect our eyes because we can't determine where that nail is going to fly. If we're clipping or if we're filing, we're gonna have a lot of nail powder basically flying around that can get into your eye, can also get into the dog's eyes. So let's talk about eye safety for you and then how we can protect our pups. So lots of options for you. You can get goggles that are basically meant for this, utility goggles for using tools. You can also get, what I do is I just use reading glasses for magnification, and that protects my eyes. Now, another safety concern, in addition to protecting your eyes and the eyes of the pup that you're working with, is obviously that this is a very fast rotating sanding tool, right? And we're working around hair. Now, not all dogs have a coat. So if you're working with a short or smooth coated dog, you don't really have to worry about this. But if you are working with a dog with any kind of a coat on their paws, just like our little guy here, we have to take some considerations. So let me show you some of the tricks that I use. So what I make sure to do when I'm working with a dog professionally is I do the nail. So I clip and file if needed right after the tub. This allows me to I basically do a quick blow dry, but I leave the feet wet. So that way I can move all the coat away from the nails so that I can clip and then file them very safely. Now, in the case that I don't take them right out of the tub and their feet are dry right now, their paws are dry, there's a few things that you can do in addition to taking them right out of the bath. Or what I talked about in our clipping black dog nails video is to take a bottle of water, just a little spray bottle, spray the foot, and then move the coat away. I also want to tell you guys that you can use a waterless bath for this. So I'm using the Grooming waterless bath. And this way, if I spray that on his paw, good boy, I can move the coat away from the nails, but also give his paw a little bit of a cleaning action. And if you want to kick it up a notch, so this is the waterless shampoo that I have, the waterless bath. You can also use a conditioning spray for this purpose. So this is the Argan Oil Indulge Spray from BioGroom, and I can also use it to move the coat up, okay, but also give a nice conditioning treatment to the paw. And last but not least, on safety, guys, make sure if you have long hair, you're using a rotating sanding tool to put your hair back. So I have seen many groomers, including myself, get their hair caught in a rotating sanding tool like a Dremel, a grinder. So just make sure that you keep a rubber band or some kind of a hair clip. Make sure you get the hair out of the way. Now guys, before we jump into the demonstration, let me tell you some of the different styles that you have of nail grinders. The first I'm going to start with, and I'm actually really impressed with this guy, is this is an in-home use nail grinder. It doesn't have a stock, very quiet. I actually bought this guy about 2 years ago and have been using it professionally, and it just started kind of losing its power a few months ago. So I did replace it with a professional unit. So let's jump in and talk about those. So some grooming companies, like this one's an Oster, this one's an Andis, they actually make dedicated rotating sanding tools to use for your nail grinding. Some have stocks like this one, some don't have stocks, so just be aware of that. And I want to jump back for some of these guys, especially on the home use nail grinders. Sometimes you'll also see a cap with a little hole. That's a little protector to try not to catch the hair and to make sure that you're only working on one nail at a time. So just be aware that you're also going to see that as well. And then the third type of rotating sanding tool is something you'll just see at your hardware store. This is how it all started, basically with a company called Dremel. So you'll see a lot of groomers back in the day, they would just go buy the Dremel. A lot of groomers still do. Instead of buying it from a grooming manufacturer, they'll just go to their hardware store, get a rotating sanding tool. That's going to come with a bunch of heads, a pack of heads that you can go ahead and replace and put on your rotating sanding tool. Now, the cool thing that I have noticed with these guys, regardless of whether you buy an actual Dremel or you work with the Andis or the Oster, these heads are really universal. So I can go ahead and replace my sanding head as needed. And the type of sanding, if I want sanding on top, I want to go around, I can replace the head of the sander. So for this demonstration, I'm going to use the Andis one with just a regular plain sanding band. It doesn't have sanding on top because I just want to show you guys how to do it with the most basic sanding band. We can get a little fancy in other videos in the future, but let's handle it this way today. And I'll show you how to get it done. And guys, after seeing his nails, he is a little too long, so I am going to cut the little tips off, meet you guys back here for the filing demonstration. But I do want to make an important point because I know a lot of people are afraid of doing their own dog's nails at home, cutting those dog's nails. I do want to let you guys know that cutting a little bit is better than not cutting anything at all. I know you may be afraid, but if you cut a little bit, that's doing better for the dog than not cutting anything at all. So just don't be afraid, even if you have to cut the very, very tippy tip. Okay, that's better than leaving them alone and having those nails grow too long. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting the tips off of the nails. Again, if you guys need to see how to cut black dog nails or dog nails in general, I'll put a link to our videos for that down below. But I will see you back here in a second when we're ready to file. Okay, nails clipped. I just took the little edges off, so we are ready to file. Now, filing, again, could be a little easier for the dogs, but it's really important if you have young children at home, if you might have older folks at home, and I mentioned that in our clipping black dog nails video. It's really important to make sure that those nails do not scratch and get scratchy or have any bits on them that are sharp. So this filing really helps that. So let's go zoom in and show you how it's done. All right, so I'm going to spray that foot, make sure we have all the nails exposed and no hair is going to get caught in that rotating sanding tool. Okay, I'm going to keep his face away. If I need to put a towel, I can do that. Turn on my device. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. See how I'm filing up? I'm grinding up. And I'm keeping aware, I'm aware of the anatomy of the nail and what it's going to look like. Oh, very nice. And I like to get those back edges and then feel how they feel. Nice and soft, nice and smooth. Now guys, I'm going to show you the Dewclaw. I don't normally file Dewclaws unless I'm working on a short-coated dog. So just letting you know that Dewclaws, check your dogs for Dewclaws, but they usually just get clipped with your nail clipper. We're not going to file them because we don't want that hair getting caught into the rotating sanding tool. So 1 foot down, he's a little squirrely about it, but not too bad. Just make sure, again, you guys know to spray. Get that hair out. If you got a wet paw, don't worry about that. Move the coat away. There we have our nails exposed with the coat safely away. Okay. Hold on and get the tool. From the bottom, grinding up. Getting those sides. Good boy. Good boy. And just push that nail forward so you can work with each nail one at a time. Good boy. What a good boy. All right, guys, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the back just to show you some handling techniques on back nails. You can come from this side, right? Or you can come from, oh, come here, babies. You can go ahead and pick up a foot this way. So just know that there's different angles that you can use to file. Again, remembering to spray, making sure that no hair gets caught, and then giving them lots of love and encouragement when we finish each foot. Good boy. Well, all right, guys, I hope that gives you a little more insight into grinding your dog's nails or claws. Do not be afraid to try it. Definitely it's something that we need to do to maintain our dogs and in healthy condition for their paws. So definitely look at options that are available to you for grinders. If you're working with your pet at home, I'm going to give you some wonderful options that have worked also in a professional manner, that work safely and very quietly, especially for dogs that are a little more nervous. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up if this video helps and you like it. Thanks for subscribing, and thank you for your time. We really do appreciate it. Any questions, we'll answer them down below. We'll see you soon.